Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review, Star Trek II Into Darkness. This movie is directed by J.J. Abrams, who previously directed Cloverfield, the previous Star Trek movie, as well as Super 8. Now, going into this movie, there was all this speculation for months on what the plot might be, who some of the characters might be, who the villain might be, what have you, but I didn't care about all that because I was just excited. It had been 4 years since the last Star Trek movie. And even though I liked the first movie, I loved this movie. Now let me start with the acting in this movie. All of the characters from the previous film are back in this one, and you can really tell that the chemistry is still there. They seemingly picked up right where they left off. The first movie was more of an introduction to the characters, but this one, they've been there for a while, and I liked how they all had a lot more to do. All of the minor characters, such as Scotty and Chekhov and Zulu, I kind of thought they were going to fade off into the background, but they all had essential scenes and kept them busy. Newcomer Alice Eve was a nice addition to the Enterprise. It was, one, good to see another female on board besides Uhura, but her character was also important to the storyline as well. Also, Peter Weller, or RoboCop for some of you. He was the older official guy, just like Bruce Greenwood was. He worked just as well. But the best character in the movie, the best role, the most memorable for a lot of you is going to be Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, I can't go into the plot too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but let me tell you, the best way I can describe Star Trek Into Darkness is Skyfall meets The Dark Knight, where you have so many throwbacks and nods to the TV show and movies of the past, but you also have this dark, serious storyline in which the villain is going to be incredibly memorable, and the heroes are going to be in danger, so much so that somebody might die or somebody might come close to dying. And with a movie like Star Trek, you can expect nothing but greatness from the music and the score, but also the visuals. Whether it was an action space battle or just a view of futuristic London, even though it was all in the future, it looked realistic. And the emotion this movie pulled out of its audience was just overwhelming. If you weren't laughing at the unexpected humor due to the dialogue between characters, you were at the edge of your seat due to all the fighting and the action. And if you weren't doing either of those, you were probably about to cry due to the tragic and the sad moments in the movie. But you take all that and you wrap it all together, it made me, and will probably make you, love this movie. This movie is not without its flaws, but fortunately it's only two problems I have with the movie, and they sort of intertwine. The first is that the movie ends quite abruptly. I don't mean it cuts to black and it's over, but the movie ends with a fight sequence, and then it is over. And the movie does wrap up afterwards, but it's like, how can you build towards this gratifying climax and then just cut it short and kick the legs out from under us? Also, kind of felt they didn't give the villain too much time to really shine. He was awesome, and he was a badass. He had great dialogue, especially this awesome scene with Spock. But it was like Two-Face in The Dark Knight, where it's cool that he's in the movie, but you only give him like 20 minutes to really do his thing. I kind of felt he would have needed his own movie to be the obvious, apparent, great villain that we wanted. Just when the plot was in his hand and he had his grasp on things, he loses it and it falls flat. So, besides all that, because everything in this movie worked, I'm going to give Star Trek Into Darkness an A. I definitely recommend this movie, and I'm definitely going to buy it on Blu-ray. This is one of the few examples in which the sequel is better than its predecessor. So until next time, guys, live long and prosper.